so I've been training for almost 8 years now. And I started competing when I was training for 6 years. It took me 6 months to get really serious. And by serious, I mean like my diet was, I don't think I've ever had a break of more than 2 days in a diet, even when I'm traveling. And that was in 6 months. So that's first 6 months, up and down. Next 6 months, trying to figure out what works. Next 1 year, trying to figure out again what works. Another year, new kinds of dieting. I was paleo, keto, intermittent fasting. I've done it all. So that was the next 2-3 years. And then after that, I had a really good idea what works for me. And then after that, I kept doing it. And then once I graduated, that's when I started competing. Yeah. Yes, because engineering job isn't easy, especially when you have a presentation next day and you still want to work out. And especially when I was on prep. So
that time you weren't too heavy on the social media, like you won't
yeah,
say
no,
words and
no.
you just post things in workouts.
That's
and
it.
you were a lot heavy on the deadlift rowings. And
exactly. So I used to do mostly deadlifts, rows, squats.
The only thing
leg
that
press.
makes me talk to you so willingly is that because I've seen you were like just one of us like 3-4 years ago.
Yeah.
Probably could say that you were in a better condition. Like you were more lean and more defined, but size and everything was like that. And like since past probably 2 years since you started competing.
I would say I was still big. The only problem was I used to stay under 8% body fat year round.
Yeah.
So that's why I didn't gain a lot of size.
You gained weight in that only, not like
very slow, but because I was so lean for so long, I couldn't gain as much size. And the reason was because I just like to stay lean. I used to go to raves, music festivals and all that, so I used to always be lean. But now I've learned to not always stay lean, so that's how but I still don't go over 12, 13, 14% body fat. The only 1 year I went over like 14% body fat was 2015, because I was like trying to have a big bulk. I thought let's just do a big bulk, but it didn't do anything, it just adds more fat, so it's useless to bulk. Hi. What's your name? Shiva. Nice to meet you. So for this exercise, I like to do about 4 working sets and 1 or 2 warm-up sets. And so this is my incline. After this, I would do Smith machine flat. So 2 movements, always flat and incline. So chest you only need like bench presses. I am not doing that right now, bench press, because I have an injury. But other than that, you only need bench press. And I like to use Smith machine more. I don't know what do you guys think of Smith machine?
If you need more concentration, more effective work, and less joint damage and less use of your back. Because when you bench pressing heavy, you like all of your upper along with your legs.
So first 2 to 3 years, you shouldn't be even touching Smith machine. Okay? No machines.
Engage those stabilizing muscles,
Only stick to compound movements because you don't have the basics yet. Your muscles aren't developed yet. What are you going to do with squeezing when you don't even have the basic muscles? So to build strength, to build size, to build thickness, you need compound movements. So for chest, that would be flat bench press, or you can use dumbbells as well. Okay, machines like this, no. Yeah, because you don't have any injuries right now. And if you do, then you really need to worry a lot. Because if you have injuries in your first 2-3 years of training, I don't think you will be able to go prolonged periods of your life actually training. So that's why you should stick to incline dumbbell fries, everything that has barbell and dumbbells with it. Maybe do 1 cable or 2 movements at the end. Same goes with back. None of this cable rows and hammer rows and all that. Do real barbell rows, T-bar rows, deadlifts. If you do 5 sets of each, that's 15 sets of back right there. And then do 1 or 2 like lat pull downs, pull-ups. There you go, that's a complete back workout. Same goes with legs. You don't need any machine, maybe leg press, but other than that, you don't need many machines. I see people doing leg extension and leg curls all the time. It's good, but it's not building any strength and size. So you need that. That's one of the major reasons I have a good back, because I never ever touched any machine in the first 2-3 years of training. For legs, I used to only do squats and leg press. And And for back, it was always rows, T-bar rows, barbell rows, dumbbell rows.
Legs and back before.
My legs were my priority.
Broad shoulders and back.
Yes, so I don't train my legs much anymore because I had to lose my size and strength in my legs in order to bring my upper body up. Because I had big legs because I used to train like that. But then I had to bring my upper body up in order to compete for men's physique. So now I don't train my legs as hard. I don't do squats anymore because just to avoid growing my legs.
I have a little question. So, do you think like if you training your legs too hard, probably doing 70% deadlifts and 70% squats every week, so that's gonna put the recovery load on your legs so much that the body's gonna compromise on your upper body? Do you think that works like that?
It's called nutrient partitioning. So basically, whatever nutrients you're eating are gonna go more into your legs and back, the big muscle growth which you're training harder. So that's it. But other reason is I enjoyed doing that because nobody else used to do it. You know how like when you know that nobody else is doing, so I'm gonna do it. That's how I used to train legs. Because every time I used to go to the gym, leg machines were empty. They used to use those leg extensions and stuff. Squat rack was always empty.
Or like the presses, load all the weight in the presses and go like so many plates.
Yeah, so it's never, so when I used to see that, I was like, you know what, I will do a full ass to grass movement. Just forget, okay, I can do it, nobody else can. So that's how I started doing it. And same with barbell rows. You'll see barely any person doing barbell rows to the point that it's hard, it's difficult.
So you're saying like if you just lessen the load on the lower body and you want to grow your upper, that's going to help you?
Not at your level. Like at like 7, 8, 10 years of training, if you want to particularly focus on one muscle group, doesn't mean you stop training. Like it doesn't mean I don't stop training.
Since a while, because I used to.
You still have like you're not even 25% there right now. So you said 4 years, right? Of 3, 4 years. So yeah, you still have a lot. First of all, this body fat that you are at right now, you shouldn't be at this body fat. Okay, that's the body fat you can maintain year round. This body fat. He's around 10 to 11% body fat. This is the body fat. If you're over than this, you are not fit. That's my logic. That's the ideal body fat. Like even me right now, I'm like at 11%, a little bit higher than that. But that's the body fat you should be at year round. Doesn't matter what you're doing. If you're any more than that, you're not gaining any muscle. At that body fat, you can gain muscle, or you can lose, or you can maintain. It's just the prime body fat. So if I really want to do this movement, I can just smash the weights, right? But you see that how I'm trying to squeeze, 2 second negative, squeeze, 2 second negative, because I'm trying to focus on the upper chest. If I just hammer the weights, I can't focus. I can't focus anywhere. I'm just gonna do whatever. So it works more of your ligaments, your tendons, and not your muscle. So that's what I've learned over the years of training. I used to do that a lot in the first few years of training.
How many times a week can you max train a muscle?
I would say big muscle groups 2 times, and small muscle groups you can even train 3 times. Depends on your diet and what kind of training you're doing. Because I'll give an example. If I'm working on chest, I can either do 30 sets today, or I can do 15 sets today and 20 sets next day. I mean, in 3 days from now. Okay? The total sets I do in a week is 35 now versus 30 that I did today. So overall, per week, I did 5 sets more for chest. Over a month, I did 20 sets more, right? So over a year, I did over 240 sets extra of chest. So that's how I'm stimulating my muscle. But at the same time, if I'm stimulating that muscle that many times, I better ensure that my nutrition is better on those days. So I should be eating more if I want to grow a certain body part, right? Because I'm training it harder. So it depends. If I'm trying to train biceps, it's also easy to overtrain, and overtrain is real, by the way. And the reason I say that is overtraining is real when you are not on performance enhancing drugs, because there is a certain limit to how your body can recover, right? So you need to know that. But if you're training a certain body part 2 times a week, it's more than enough. So I would say the weaker body parts train 2 times a week, the stronger ones train once, and then switch. Every 3 to 4 months, switch, so the body doesn't get used to it.
I've been overtraining all the times when I've been running.
You are what?
Always overtraining when I'm done training. Like that's what I feel like.
Because your nutrition isn't on point. You can only overtrain when your nutrition isn't on point. How confident are you that your nutrition is a 10 on 10 every single day? Exactly. So before you say it's overtraining, it's probably under eating. So micro and macronutrients. How do you get your micronutrients? How many servings of vegetables you eat in a day? What kind of vegetables you eat, right? Overcooking vegetables the way we do in Indian food is actually killing all the micronutrients. So you don't get any micronutrients. So that's how you need. You can supplement with multivitamin, but you still need to eat your servings of vegetables every single day. Every single day, I say. So I started working out actually in 2010 when I was in 11th standard, and actually 2009 I would say. So I had 2 dumbbells at home, and I used to do push-ups, crunches, squats, and pretty much everything body weight and just some curls. At that time I was actually in state level cricket here. So I was playing that, and I was really lean, and I was doing all that. Okay? Then came 11th, I was more focused towards my IIT studies and all the coaching. I did all of that. So then I stopped doing that. And because I was at home all the time and I was studying all the time, I started gaining weight. So I stopped playing sports, I stopped doing everything, and I only studied and just played video games pretty much all day. So after that, when I gave my 12th, between May, April, I think April, maybe just board exam both jate khatam. So April, May se, I had time until August before I went for my university. During that time, I joined a gym. During that time, I purchased my first tub of protein. I still know the first tub of protein. That was Muscle Tech Nitrotech. Okay? At that time, it was still barely any gyms, barely people used to work out, especially guys of my age didn't used to work out. So that's what I started. That's all I knew. Just take some protein and that's it. I didn't know the difference between carbs, protein, fats, and all that. And then when I went there, then I started working out more, then more, then more, and more and more. So basically, I started in 2011, properly working out in gym. 2016, June, my first competition. Second competition 2 weeks later.
That's like 5 years of serious grinding.
Yes, exactly. I was working out 2 times a day when I was working for my internship. I used to wake up at 4 a.m., used to be in the gym at 4:30, worked out till 6:30, go to the office at 7, reach that office at 8, work till 4:30, come back at 5, take a 1-hour nap, 6 p.m. again in the gym, 6 to 8. So 4 hours a day I was working out.
We have all those videos that you used to post years ago, probably combine all of those,
I'm gonna be making my transformation video soon, so I'll use all those clips. So I'll use all those clips, how I was, how I started. I don't have anything from like 2011, 2012, I only have pictures. At that time, barely nobody used to do this. There was no Instagram, there was no cameras that had proper camera as well. So most of the videos I have that I will use in my videos from 2013, 2012. The third exercise, I'm trying to bring up my inner chest a lot. So my chest shape is like a square, so I don't have a lot of inner chest. So in order to, most of it I won't have as big of an inner chest as like people with round chest, but still I can train. One of these movements is a close grip Smith machine press using a V-bar. This actually targets your upper chest and your middle chest. So I will do that, and right after that I will do the same movement with dumbbells. So this movement only targets your inner chest and your triceps.
How long ago did I talk to you to the PT, personal training, coaching?
How you want to go about it? So I have a form that I give you that you fill out, and then you give me all the details about yourself, your history, everything is in that form. So once I get that, then I use that to build your plan.
There are certain things that I want to talk about before that personally.
Yeah, we can do that after, like once the session is over, we can do it.
So you're gonna train here itself for 6 months?
No, I do it online mostly, but right now since I'm here, I can do it.
You get selected to the Olympia, right? You can't just walk on the stage piece, take it.
Your points determine. At the end of your year, your points determine. So, the top 20 from points ranking go there.
How far you are from that?
I haven't started. For next year's Olympia, the point system will start like next month.
Next month? You'll have
This points, so we'll have to...
Each pro show has points for first 5. And each pro show has different categories. So, for example, Vancouver Pro Show, the first place guy got 4 points. Some other pro show would be 3 points for the winner. So 3, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1. So like that's how it goes. So you keep competing, you keep accumulating points at the end of the season. I think my rank was like, I think 38th this year. 22 got selected for Olympia, but I only did 2 shows. So if you do 4 or 5 shows and you keep placing them at them, top 3, top 5, win 1 show, then you can go to Olympia.
So what's your plan? Like when do you plan to go to Olympia? Like when do you...
I'll plan next year, yeah. So I'm competing for my shows. No, it's happening tomorrow. I didn't try for this year Olympia. It was more just to get my name out, just to compete at the pro stage, that's it. Because I still need more size for Olympia level. So.
Also, I really like your idea, like you know how you told me, every level has a different kind of expectation, and you know, like if you stand in our basic fitness leagues where guys like him, the guy you're training would be the finer guy, you won't be appreciated enough. But wherein if you know it's calculated at your place, something even you know whatever defined he is, you wouldn't be appreciated because he's lacking in size.
Yes, that's true.
I really like you know sort of
That's
understood a lot from that.
I've always been very smart about how I would approach fitness, and that's one of the reasons why I've always won every single show I've done. Okay, and the reason is because of that. Especially as an amateur, I won every show I did. And the reason was because I was calculative. I didn't do nationals in 2016. I waited for a year to do that. And I placed second at nationals, lost by 1 point. I still did another show. There were only 2 shows in a year.
Yeah, I've seen that happen in India. You know, boy gets a little more serious and he's like, "Up to Mr. India, kid, by December."
Exactly, because it's the ego. You need to be smart about everything you do. Your ego shouldn't be in the way. So that's the whole point.
You know, like come in the same shape, better.
You should know what your genetics are, you should know how your training is, you should know how you're going to time it, you should know. I have a really good idea how much muscle I can gain per year. Really good idea. So in October 2017, I said I'm going to gain 10 pounds of muscle. I gained exact 10.0 pounds of muscle. So this year I said I'm going to gain 12 pounds of muscle. So I'm going to gain exactly 12 pounds of muscle for my next show.
Should I learn from this is that no one's a better coach for you than you yourself.
I wouldn't say that. Are you a coach? Even a coach? No, I know what you mean, but even in that, how do you know what works for you? Like, it takes years and a lot of guesswork. Now, either you can all put in 8 years like I did, or you can put in 4 years and have better coach. What would you do? I always preach this. I always preach the simple thing. You can either invest time or money. I invested time. You can invest money. If you don't have money, invest the time. Simple as that.
But I think you got what I meant, right?
Yeah, I know what you mean, but even for that, you need to put in the trial and error. So unless you know, the reason I know my body so well is because I've been training for 8 years by myself. I only had a coach in 2016. Yeah, I had a coach in 2016 for a competition. You can't compete without a coach. But before that, I can get as shredded as I want. I was actually just as shredded in 2015 and 14 as I was in 2016 for stage. And the reason is because I know my body that well. So it takes years. Once you know your body, after putting in the time, you'll know how it functions. Okay, so the next fourth, so this exercise is a flying movement. So I can either do dumbbells or cable or the machine. I'm doing cable this time because I did machine last time. And the trick is to just, when you're bringing the handles near your chest, always rotate it. So the more you rotate it, the more it will hit your inner chest. The less you rotate it, it's going to hit more of your outside chest. So you're going to bring it like that, and then you rotate it. That's how you're going to have that inner chest I was talking about. So bring it, rotate, rotate.
You didn't have broad shoulders, a lot of lats. So now we have a very...
Because I was always depleted. So I was too lean. So that means I was also depleted. So when you're that lean, I mean, I'm just burning muscle pretty much all the time. So that's why being that lean isn't that good. So that's why that shape wasn't there. Now when I make that video, you'll see that when I used to have the bulking periods when my body fat around was 10, 12, even 13%. Exams time, my body fat used to come up to like 13, 14%. So think of it this way. You guys are all students, right? So when I had my exams, I didn't go to the gym because the priority was the exams. Going to the gym for 2 more weeks is not gonna help me anything. But if I lose my grades, my whole life is pretty much like, is gonna be impacted. So you also have to think of it this way. Whenever I had more time, I was more in the gym more. But during exams time, I used to stop lifting. So I used to do 2 things. One, give my body a break, right? I didn't even diet that time. I would get some protein in, but I would just eat pretty much whatever I could get wherever I was studying. If I was studying in library, I would eat pizza or whatever I had at that time. What it did was give me a break, not just mentally, but also physically. And when I used to go back to the gym, I was like, oh, I used to crave going to the gym. So right now, I've been lifting regularly for the last, I don't know, 1.5 years now. I haven't taken a break. I'm burnt out right now. So that's why you're seeing me train like this. Otherwise, I would be like 45, 50 seconds, like keep going at it. Because I'm burnt out. I need rest. I need rest from my dieting and I need rest from just training. But I still am not doing that because I know when to stop. So I will stop training for like maybe a week, by maybe at the end of my India trip. So before I go back, so I can start falling in love with weights again. I can start like, oh, I have to go train. I'm so excited. My whole body is completely recovered. So that's all you have to see too. It's a really good idea to give your body a break after like 6 months or 8 months. I would say, as I said, I train shoulders 2 times a week. So, but a lot of, so shoulders are like, I would say a lot of it is genetics, but also like how I train. I train shoulders high volume all the time. So I go like a lot of side laterals, a lot of Arnold presses, a lot of standing barbell presses. So the last one is dips always. So I use bodyweight dips till failure, 3 to 4 sets, actually sometimes even 5, just to fatigue the muscle and also hit like the up. Like I don't, because I have a square chest, I have to shape my chest a little bit differently, and this actually helps with reshaping the whole chest so I can have more of a square than just have like a flat on my sides. So this has actually helped shape my chest a lot more and give those cuts in the outside of my chest.
Carbon dips are already tough for a lot of beginners to do. So we
Assisted.
suggest to do this at the end of the workout or at the beginning of the workout.
Up to you. You can play it around with. If you're doing it at the end of the workout, do assisted. Same thing. If you can't do your own weight, just do assisted. Same thing, pretty much. Because beginning of the workout should always be presses. Bench press, flies. Sometimes I start my workout with dumbbell flies. So all those movements. Then instead of doing the cable, you can do this. But last 2 to 3 movements you can do pretty much in any order. Depends.
Another question, what do you say about decline benches? Because only in India I've seen decline benches. When I train that, I see a lot of people or a lot of machines having decline benches.
They have it just as much. And I do decline a lot sometimes too. It depends. Right now I'm not trying to high volume because as I said, I'm trying to give my body a little bit break. So I can't do like 30 sets of chest right now.
What's the difference between what difference does it make? Decline one and decline?
Decline hits more like a full chest pretty much, like from lower to upper. Then incline hits just the upper. Flat hits all 3 parts of the chest. That's the biggest difference. People don't do Decline, like everybody already has that lower chest pretty much. So that's why decline isn't something that everybody likes to do. Plus, it's easier because your shoulders don't come into play. 3, you can put a lot more weight than on flat and incline. So people like to do decline when they want to be just like have an even lift session. But at the same time, I still do incline. It doesn't mean I completely ignore it. If I don't do it today, I'll do it in 3 weeks from now or 2 weeks from now. I'll like vary it. Instead of doing like the close grip, I would just do decline.
I really like the way you said, multivitamins come before protein, because you always have a cheaper substitute for protein, wherein multivitamins is actually what keeps you going.
Well, you still need micronutrients from whole food, but more vitamins does not do you any harm. That's why I feel like it's better to have more, and a lot of the vitamins you cannot get from even if you're eating all the vegetables. So it's better to have that really, really good top quality multivitamin. That's your priority number 1.
Like probably if I can't afford a package, probably like Animal Pack or those Vita packs we have, if these guys want to go to the chemist and bhaiya mere ko D de do, C de do, ye de. So
no.
What are those?
I would still want you to get more sports nutrition multivitamins. You are a bodybuilder, you better take vitamins that a bodybuilder needs, not somebody like your grandpa needs, right? It's a different kind. Your body has different needs. They need different micronutrients.
You need these multivitamins running 12 months throughout the year?
Yes. Yes. Never taking a break. It's more like a pre-workout thing. Yeah, if you have extra money, if you want to take, if you have the money to do it, then do it. Otherwise, I used to only take coffee the first 2-3 years of training. So.
And what is the best time to take fish oil?
No, fish oil is like more like a supplement that you eat with every other meal or with first meal. 2 caps with first meal. That's what I gave him. 2 to 3 capsules is more than enough for like fish oil. Yeah. But year round, again, fish oil year round. Good, healthy omega-3 fats.
So, test boosts are good or not?
Test boosters? Well, if you're lower, if you're younger than 30 years of age, or even like 28, no, you don't. Don't even bother. Your testosterone is already way higher than between the age of 16 to 22. Your testosterone is at its peak. You don't need testosterone boosting supplements. It's not going to do any good. So it's a waste. Unless you're like 28, 39, 30 maybe.
So why are you saying that BCAs are not so important?
I am saying BCAs are not so important is because they do help with recovery, but if you don't, as I said, I told them, it's like if you only have 4 or 5 supplements to buy, BCAs would come like at the bottom, not at the top.
I am going to remain, I have completed 1 year, so I have to take BCAs. I am now taking BCAs.
It's not necessary. And the reason is, yes, it will help with your recovery, but it won't help you with your recovery as much as normal food does. Real food will always be better than any of the supplements you can ever take. So it's always about the food first, recovery, rest, right? And then it comes with like, okay, BCAs. It might give you a little bit like 2%, 5% advantage. It's important. I would still say 5% recovery makes any small edge is important. But अगर सिर्फ 4 supplement ले सकते हो और अगर आपको मैंने पहले भी उसको मैंने बोला सबको मैंने बोला था, it's always better to invest into something that helps you gain more knowledge and helps you train better than to invest into something that only gives you 5% edge. So invest into a coach, invest into a better gym, invest into all of those things than to invest into a BCAA supplement. That's what I mean. See that? Okay, I'll give you a math. Simple math देता हूँ. ठीक है? If any coach charges you, say, let's say 8,000 to 15,000 rupees per month, okay, 8,000 to 15,000 rupees per month, how much do you spend per month on supplements? How much? 6,000? Okay. How much? 6,000?
8-10 maybe max.
8-10, right? ठीक है. अब मैं आपको ये बोलता हूँ कि 3 महीने तक के लिए सप्लीमेंट्स कम कर दो और एक कोच को ले लो. क्या होगा? Now you saved your full year of knowledge. Supplements बाद में लेना.
Moreover, I wanna add to the same. Coach ने एक बार knowledge दे दी, you're always gonna enhance it on your body and it's gonna be there forever. मैंने थोड़े दिन पहले प्रोटीन लिए, सप्लीमेंट लिए, मैं बड़ा सा था, अभी 2 महीने से घूम रहा हूँ, खुश हो गया, प्रोटीन सारा बाहर निकल गया. बट अगर मैंने सीख लिया होता है इनसे beforehand, so I won't be needing to waste more money. मैं फिर से without investing more could get to the same place.
A better analogy is कि आप लोग बाहर जाते हो, खाना खाते हो, पार्टी करते हो, जो सब करते हो. अगर आप वो करना बंद कर दो, every month reduce your expenses by 20%. ठीक है, अगर महीने का 7 से 8 हज़ार रुपये आप easily, मैं गारंटी दे सकता हूँ, each and every one of you spend 8 to 10,000 per month for going out, eating outside, going out with friends, going on trips and all that. ठीक है, if every month you spend less 20%, ठीक है, एक दो बार कम जाओ महीने में, over a period of year कितने आपकी सेविंग्स हो गई, वही सेविंग्स आपने अपनी बॉडी में डाल दी. That's how things work. It's all about priorities. आपकी प्रायोरिटी नंबर 1, 2, 3 उसको चूज़ करो. देन अपने आप सारे एक्सपेंडिचर्स डालो कि इतना मैं महीने में हर चीज़ों में खर्च करता हूँ. नाउ रीबैलेंस दैट मनी इनटू योर प्रायोरिटी नंबर 1, 2, 3. दैट्स हाउ इट वर्क्स. दैट्स हाउ बजटिंग वर्क्स. Hey guys, so if you're looking to buy any supplements in India, go to themusclecart.com. These guys have 100% authentic supplements. They actually get it from the importer, not any distributors, so I can actually stand behind the products. So if you're looking for any supplement, be it any company, international, Indian, go to these guys' website, themusclecart.com, and order your supplements from their website.